You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another exciting edition of Behind the Bulldogs. Brandon Worth, Tatum Outlaw, bringing you the goods in Ferris State sports. Another great episode last week with Kenzie and Maya. We get you another great episode here this week. We got a pair of throwers on the show, which you probably saw from the title when you clicked on this video or podcast. Great throwers, great people, and great podcast guests.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this episode.
Absolutely. We'll get to the interview with Rebecca as well as Devin here momentarily. But first, we'll get you the Ferris State Sports recap of all the great things that happened in Ferris State Athletics this past week. And insert a bowling joke, a lot of splits here for this weekend. So we had basketball on the men's side splitting, winning against Northern, falling against Tech. Women's falling against Northern Michigan, beating Tech. And then you had hockey winning against number 14 ranked Minnesota State, then falling to the Mavericks on Saturday. And then you also had track and field. They didn't split because that wouldn't make sense because it was one meet. 2, team score was not taken. And 3, bowling does not line up with track and field. So there's just no split there, but great performances we'll highlight as well.
Yeah, this weekend was very up and down in a lot of different ways, but you know, we're learning. It was still all great games. And yeah, track and field, they're rolling along. They're their own category, I think.
They are. There's so many results. We'll highlight some of the notable ones, but we'll start with women's hoops as we had them on the show last week. Northern Michigan, really good team, right? Came out flat. Defensively, just didn't have the juice, right? They got a lot of shots up Northern Michigan, that is, made some shots. And I think especially, it was just, in simple analysis, tale of two different games. Michigan Tech, they played elite defensively. They scored the ball. They were able to move the ball around. And Northern Michigan's defense gave us some fits. We turned it over a little bit. Just a tale of two teams. You saw Ferris State really play well Saturday, not able to get it together Thursday. But that's just the tale of hoops. Some nights you have it and some nights you don't.
Definitely. And I think for Thursday, like, the girls were working hard. It just was one of those nights. I mean, I think they were so close in so many ways. Just things weren't going in. But it's a lesson learned, and they flipped it around for Saturday.
Absolutely. And the score lines for those games, the Northern Michigan game, I believe, finishing with a final score of 78-48, and then the Michigan Tech game, 75-49. Complete flip of the script. Backward. Yeah, so It'll be exciting to see how they do this weekend. Lake State on the road as well as Roosevelt on a Monday. But we'll get to that later on the show. Flipping to men's, Northern Michigan, a good team. Michigan Tech, a very good team as well. Played Northern Michigan very tight. That was a heck of a ball game. We're able to outlast them down the stretch. Some good shooting gets us through in the second half. And then Michigan Tech, Marcus Tomaszek is a incredible basketball player for Michigan Tech. He went for 45 by himself to beat us. He was the GLIAC Player of the Week, and for good reason. I think we played really well. There were some times we lost some momentum, especially early in the second half, had the halftime lead, then it slipped away. But I think overall, a lot of lessons this team learned, and they're going to be ready to go for that UP trip here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know the boys are fired up from that game, and they were very close. I mean, it went into overtime. And as you said, I mean, scoring 45 points all by yourself is crazy. I mean, I remember the fans were cheering for the one shot that he didn't make, and it was like a free throw. And everyone was like, thank God. But
he's mortal.
Yeah, I know. It was insane to watch him. He's a great player. And I just know the guys are fired up for the next game.
Absolutely. 88-85 was the score of that Michigan Tech and Ferris State game. And then it was 85-79, the victory over Northern Michigan for those curious. Hockey. What a night Friday. Defense, just absolutely incredible goaltending from Noah West. They get a 2-0 win, upset number 14 in the country, Minnesota State. The next night, had themselves in position, and then Minnesota State, rather, not Michigan State, but Minnesota State, they woke up. It kind of felt like they got back to the way they've played, top 15 in the nation, worthy of play, and they just unloaded offensively, unloaded in bunches, and so a little overwhelmed. But for 4 periods, I know Brody and myself said this on the broadcast, it felt like those 4 periods, right, the 3 periods Friday night and the first, Ferris State was playing at some of their best level they had played all year. Just the last 2 periods, foot off the gas a little bit. Minnesota State was ready to take over.
I definitely think that we ruffled their feathers when we played them Friday. So, which good thing for us. I mean, we're getting so close in some ways. But then, next the next day they're going to bring it. So,
Absolutely.
But I'm glad we could find a win within those 2 games.
For sure. Do Mavericks have feathers? Honest question. I don't know if they do, but mascot people might know, maybe be able to help us.
Know what a Maverick is.
Anyway, we'll move on. Track and field, great results from Grand Valley State. Top marks throwing from Devin, really good overall. Top 5, and I know we mentioned that in the interview, or we will mention that in the interview rather. And then as well, Cooper Sorson moving up the all-time list, breaking 820 in the 3K. He's been amazing. Rebecca Marvin as well, great throwing. Sprints, we got a top 10 sprinter in the country. Jalen Townsend is running with absolute heat. I mean, you can see the fire trail from the blocks. That's how hot he is right now running, and that's going to be exciting to see. Also, great results, a lot of great PRs. This team's moving really in the right direction, and it's very impressive to me, right, as a part of the program. It takes time to develop those PRs, chipping away. A lot of those groups, right, throwers, sprinters, jump, they made a pretty big step from meet 1 for some to meet 2. That's a great thing to see because we still got a whole month to tune up for to Saginaw Valley, not Grand Valley for GLIACs, but it feels like right now they're a step in the right direction and ahead of the trajectory, which is very exciting to see what they can do later in February.
Yeah, that whole squad is they're very locked in, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of their season has in store for them. They're just doing well. They're just improving every single week. So
absolutely. Yeah. Heart emoji to my teammates for sure. We got an interview to go to. If you want more stats and recap, there's only one place, ferrisstatebulldogs.com for more information. And with that, time to talk with 2 throwers.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Now joining us here in the interview room, we have a pair of Ferris State trackletes once again, this time on the throwing side of things. We got Rebecca Marvin as well as Devin Dennison. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Absolutely. And we're very excited to get throwing some love here on the show. It's been very much too long since then. But right now, indoor, you guys are chucking things competitively. How does that feel? And where do you guys feel your game as far as throwing is right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. We're doing really well as a squad. I feel like we come to compete every time we go to the meet. So I feel like we're doing really well.
Yeah, we're throwing far. There's always room for improvement, even on my part, threw a big PR last week, but still have lots of room for improvement. So.
Nice. What are some of your guys' goals, like looking into the rest of the indoor season and then whenever you go outdoor?
Yeah. I'm seeded 4th right now in our conference in weights. So if I could squeeze out a 3rd and a medal, that would be awesome. But
yeah,
it's a bunch of GV kids in front of me. So, it's always hard to get after them just because they are so competitive as a squad. But yeah hopefully 3rd in weight.
Yeah.
Shot put, really I need a 12, which is not super competitive as a mark, but me and shot put have a love-hate relationship. So
it certainly does. Steeplechase, eye on you for sure.
Yeah.
Devin, how about you?
I'm looking to, Provo mark is 1820 right now. And last meet I threw 1811. So I got 9 centimeters to hit Provo. So that's really my goal I'm hitting, looking for right now. But also last season I took 4th at indoor GLIACs. So hopefully I can at least just hit 4th again, if not 3rd,
For sure. You can taste it right now. It's right there, which is awesome. And you just got into the top 5 list. Congratulations all time. When it comes to the sport of throwing, right? Very unique sport of itself, right? You guys are way stronger than Tatum and I will ever be. When it comes to how you were introduced to the sport, what made you love throwing? What made you want to pursue it in college?
Yeah, so I have been throwing since I was probably 8 years old, honestly. Just always done it. My mom got us into it. We weren't really a dance family. We're all pretty big, so that's not really anything that we had interest in. So really I've just been doing it for a very long time, and I wanted to go to college, so I figured why not throw?
Cool. Devin, how about you?
Been throwing since middle school. My whole family's come from the throwing side. All my older siblings all did track in high school and college now too. And in high school I really was I want to do that too. And senior year came around and I had some big throws, and Larry approached me about throwing here. So that's how I got here.
There it is.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, but I was going to ask when did recruiting start for you? When was the moment you knew I can do this in college? This is something I can accomplish.
For me, my mom was always you can do this. It's just a matter of wanting it. So I actually started at Tiffin University in Ohio, and then I transferred here after some coaching changeovers in Tiffin. And then I really just loved the environment and the coach.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to come to college to do sports. Never thought I'd get up to this level, especially, D2. Thought I'd end up maybe NAIA, D3. But senior year, I opened up my outdoor season with a big throw, and it really opened my eyes up. And so I started reaching out, talked to Larry, and ended up coming here. So.
Awesome. One swing of the bat, but also one throw of the disc, one throw of the hammer. You just never know what life might take you just on one throw. You mentioned Coach Larry. Got to give him a shout out, of course. See him throughout the facility. Great guy. When it comes to what you guys like about his coaching, the style of his coaching, what is it that really resonates for you in helping with your game?
I just like being able to have one-on-one conversations with him about what I need to work on.
Yeah, he's so just down to person. He'll talk to you one-on-one. He'll explain things easy, make everything fun. He'll just sit and chat. And if you don't want to necessarily talk about throwing, he'll talk about whatever you want. So
for sure, chill vibe.
Yeah,
it's definitely
sure.
what you get around with Coach Larry. For sure.
I think like having a good coach like makes the experience a whole different ball game for you. And same thing with teammates. So how do you guys like lead the rest of the throwers? Because you guys make a huge difference on the program. So tell me about that and like how your team culture is affected by like what you guys do.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest one on the squad. So I'm really just trying to create memories for these young kids. But yeah, that's what I try to do.
I just hang in there, I'm just
You're the vibes guy.
Well,
Aren't we all?
So I'm a sophomore, but I still am probably the youngest one on the team. Even on the freshman. So I just go with the flow. I don't try to really lead anyone and just try to be there.
Yeah,
for sure. And with the throwers, right? You guys are a unique group. It's a collective sport. Track and field is of itself, but a lot of subgroups, right? The distance kids, the weird kids like myself. Then you have the sprinters, the jumpers, so on and so forth. What is it about the throwers that makes that group so special?
I think just like the weird stuff we bring to practice and to meets, like we're always yelling. You don't always see that in the other events. We're always screaming at each other and things like that. Yeah,
you said specific things you bring to meets.
Snacks usually.
Usually just, putting snacks in our pocket before we go on and field and sort of thing.
For sure. Okay. When it comes to Devin, for you, let's answer that question then.
I don't know. We're just goofy, You see us always in the corner of a weight room or something, we're just yelling, like she said, screaming, lifting heavy weights. And people just don't really, they see it and they're like, what the heck are they doing? And, we're just having a good time. That's what we're here for, So we're just trying to make everything the best that we can.
For sure. Favorite pre-throw and favorite post-throw snack?
Larry he'll always bring beef jerky in our snack bins. So I almost always snag a bag and bring it out to the rings. So I'm going to say teriyaki beef jerky.
Nice. Good pick.
Coach Larry, he knows us and he always gets us those the chocolate Uncrustables.
Yeah,
that's gotta be my go-to right there.
Uncrustables in the track bin, they're always there and then they never are there. Because they're gone immediately.
Exactly.
For sure.
I thought we had good snacks. I mean, we've got a whole bin. We've got Rice Krispie treats. We've got fruit snacks. But I guess it's kind of heavy for volleyball if we got anything like that.
Yeah, you guys also warm up a very long time.
Yeah, it's like an hour long. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, shifting gears a little bit. What are you guys studying? What do you want to do after college?
Yeah, so I've switched my major quite a few times from my freshman year. I started off in business and then I kind of went towards like more of a medical path, but now I'm back in business.
I was going to say you went back to business.
Yeah, for sure.
I should have let her finish because no one ever like starts in business and goes
the other way. It's usually the other way around.
Okay,
yes.
I'll let you finish.
So my business classes at Tiffin, I just wasn't really a fan of the professors really. And then here, my first semester, I was nuke med major. They put me in science classes. I was like, this is not the vibe. So then I went back to business. So now I'm business administration with a minor in HR. And then I actually had a really good internship this summer with a company called JLL in facilities management. So I'm now pursuing a certificate in facilities management as well.
Cool. Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Devin, how about you?
Kind of complicated. I have a major in mechanical engineering.
All right.
And I'm double minoring in product design engineering and manufacturing engineering.
Whoa. All right.
So
you can make stuff.
Yeah.
I like to be busy, keep my hands busy, make things. So
For sure. When it comes to those jobs specifically, what is the ultimate, what's the next step? What's the dream job when you leave college?
Yeah, I think my plan's a little bit more loose just because there are so many opportunities in the business world and everybody has HR and like facilities management for that matter. So really for me, I just want to work for a good company and make some good money.
Yes,
That's
we like
always nice.
we like money. That's
Yeah.
for sure. How about you, Devin?
I'm really just not sure yet. I like doing all this stuff, but that's the reason I'm doing it. It's so open-minded. I could go anywhere from go work on planes for a living, go work on cars, do anything. And I don't know what I want to do yet. So
Yeah, which that's a completely fine answer. We're doing a podcast right now, and I don't know what I'm going to be eating for dinner later. That's
Exactly.
completely fine. When it comes to your favorite part about the Ferris State culture, right, especially within the team, outside of the team, things you like to do as hobbies, what's the thing about it that you like the most?
I just like how willing everybody is to help everybody.
Very nice.
That's my favorite aspect.
The community has been a very popular answer on the show.
Yeah.
Devin, how about you?
I got to go with the same thing. The people. That's the reason I came here. I came here for Coach Larry. I loved him, and the people I'm surrounded with at practice. It's my favorite part of the day. So the community is just great here.
Yeah, I think I love the community here. Everyone does. I think he says the same things. With that, what do you guys do outside of like your sport and your studies? Like, do you like to hang out? Do you have any hobbies that we don't know about?
Yeah. I've recently started crocheting.
Wow.
I actually made him and Hunter matching hats, our other thrower. So I'm hoping to get into that a lot more. But that's like, other than that, just like TV and relaxing outside of sports and school. So, but I've been crocheting. So I've been enjoying that a lot.
Are these bulldog hats?
No, they're just regular hats, but I do want to make Larry a bulldog hat. So we'll see.
Hey,
We'll see.
you're a business girl.
Yep.
Start selling them.
I
Make a
know.
little Instagram.
I should.
And I'm PR, so I'll promote it.
Okay, period.
Maybe we can get a little business running.
Mhm.
Let's do a podcast fan giveaway.
Yeah,
Crocheted hats. There we go. All right, Devin, how about you?
I don't really got time outside of track and school. I work too. But every once in a while, once the weather gets nicer, I have friends on the disc golf team, so we like to go disc golfing.
Nice.
Get away, but I don't really have much free time, so just studying.
That's fair. You're already in the books. And disc golf and track has been a very good combination by what I've heard, as all the track guys always go discing once the wintry snow just melts away, no matter what. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Last question, ask everybody we bring on the show. What's your favorite thing about being here at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
Favorite thing. I think it's being able to feel, what's the right word? Feel like you're welcomed anywhere you go.
Awesome. Devin, how about you?
Yeah, I like the energy. You come any game, track meet. We don't have home track meets, but you go to track meet, there's always Ferris fans out there. You travel, there's Ferris fans. Everyone's always, let's go Ferris. And that's what I love. So.
The community aspect rings again. Well,
Very
thank you.
prideful.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys for coming on to the show, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you
so much.
Big thanks to Rebecca and Devin for joining us on the show. Great to get the throwers, Coach Larry, some love. They always are out there on their own, and I love cheering them on when I was doing track because, there's a lot of attention what's going around in the skirkle or the oval as they call it, but not much inside of it. So it's great to see that. And they are throwing really well right now. So great to highlight them on the show.
Yeah, I think it's always good when we have some track and field people on. I think we could all learn a little bit more about them. They've got some cool stuff going on and they've both been performing really well. So it was cool just to see things from their perspective and just see what they've got in store for the rest of the season.
For sure. And the family lineage too. Very unique coming from the families of track and field athletes and carry on the legacy. It's very cool. With that, we'll leave you with the Ferris State Sports Slate. What's ahead for all of our Bulldog fans this weekend? It starts Thursday. Not here, but you can tune in, Sunny 97.3, as well as all the great outlets to follow with Ferris State Sports. 5:30 and 7:30, women's basketball and men's basketball at Lake State. Men's game is a very tight game. Women's definitely favored. They can get the job done, but they're really looking to see if they can continue that momentum from Saturday into Thursday.
Very unfortunate that they're playing the second team in the conference away, but everyone try and tune in online, give them all the good vibes since we can't be there cheering them on, because I know both the basketball teams, they really groove off of the crowd's energy. So try and watch, give them the good vibes.
Give them vibes.
Or drive to the, just kidding. I don't think you guys would drive to the game, but.
The bridge is scary. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
With track and field, they will be at Saginaw, the Jets Pizza, one of the meets that I wanted to do so badly as an athlete. Now they're going, super happy and excited for them. So they will be at the University Center. If you see that online, it's Saginaw. It sounds confusing, but it's Saginaw. And then hockey will be at Bemidji State. That game has a puck drop of 8:07 Eastern. They start at 7 o'clock, but in Central Time. So 8 o'clock Eastern. Take an extra hour. Get some pizza, maybe Jets pizza even with that. And then you can tune in for that coverage. It'll also be on Saturday at 7:07 Eastern, but it'll be 7:07 Eastern. It'll be 6:07 Central Time. So if you get that discrepancy, do the math. There's Google calculators online. Track and field will also be in action on Saturday. Women's tennis will be at Indy. Good luck to Coach Doran and all those athletes as they will be competing down there against the Greyhounds. And of course, as Coach Doran we've talked with him on the show many times, and you guys do this too with volleyball. You don't necessarily have to start out with easy opponents. Just get right to work and see where you're at.
Why not? I mean, why waste everyone's time? Let's go. Let's start off as hard and tough as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
As well.
What other way to do it, right?
Yep.
And then we will also have no basketball on Saturday. You're probably thinking you forgot basketball. No, we didn't, because they play on Monday and they're at home. We're going to be hosting the Roosevelt Lakers in that rotation of schedule. So they will be at Jim Link Arena on Monday. Those game times 5:30 and 7:30 as always. Softball, you heard that right. Softball is in action in February, on February 3rd. They're going to be in the Aloha State. Very jealous. So we'll probably have some guests coming on when they come back from the trip to tell their stories. So be on the lookout for that. And they will be in action against Hillsdale starting on Monday. They'll have a whole slew of games throughout the week. You can follow on ferrisstatebulldogs.com. And then tennis wants to be in action on not Monday, but Sunday, the 2nd. They will be going from Indy, and then they will be taking on Drury, which is a team in Missouri. So good luck to them. And good luck to all of our athletes this weekend. Jam-packed. All on the road for the most part, except for Monday, but going to be a great weekend in Bulldog Athletics. I just got a feeling for it.
Kind of weird. Everyone's gone.
Yeah. We're lonely now.
Yeah, we're a little lonely, but everyone bring back some wins so we have more to talk about next week.
Right. Which also, if you can't make the travel, you can rewatch some of our great episodes.
Oh my gosh, duh. Or if you are making the travel and you need something to listen to on the way, listen to our episodes.
There you go. So you have no excuse. That's your homework over the weekend. Just kidding. We would never assign homework on the show. If you want homework, though, be sure to subscribe and follow along wherever you get the show. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, WBRN.com. Wherever it is, you can find us. And we'll see you later on episode 18 with some great guests and another great episode.
That doesn't even sound right. 18 episodes.
That's a lot.
It's crazy.
I counted 3 and that was a lot. So 18's even more.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching, guys.
We'll see you later.